All right, everybody, welcome to LO Unfair Advantage Friday Strategy class with Mr. Scott Hudspeth, the man, the myth, and the legend. And you really are a legend, Scotty. You've achieved legendary status with our group, my friend.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I appreciate that, man. I think you know what, you're right there with me. So, I really can't take all the cake. I'm going to give you half, man.
Well, I'll take a quarter of the cake because I am still in that learning process, man. I'm working my way to be the next Scott Hudspeth.
I appreciate that, man. Well, so this is what happened on Wednesday. I met with the broker owner. Her name was Jeannine Lemmon. Hopefully she doesn't see this recording.
Now, Scotty, as you get started, do you mind if I pick your brain about a couple of these things? Because I want everybody on the class to understand exactly what it is that you did with this. And the presentation itself, fantastic presentation. It's a results in advance presentation focusing on the LO unfair stuff. And I love what you've done here, but if it's okay, can I pick your brain about a couple of things?
I would love the questions. Yeah.
My first question is how did you meet Jeannine? Is this somebody that one of your teammates brought to you? Is this somebody that you've marketed to? Is this somebody that checked you out on your Agent Mastermind class? How did you meet Jean?
Yeah. So just so you guys know a little bit about what I do on a weekly basis is I work for a company out of Plymouth, Michigan, which I say Plymouth because if I say Detroit, people go, ugh, kind of like that thing. So it's Plymouth, Michigan, and we opened up a branch in Grand Rapids, which, so if you're familiar with Michigan, Grand Rapids is an hour north of me. Plymouth is 2 hours east of me, and so I work with that company for the LOs. So when they find an agent. And this is a really good question, Paul, because I want to say something here. So Kevin Wildman is a part of our team, and he calls me up. He goes, man, I did a deal with this lady, Jeannine Lemmon. She already knows me. I just want to solidify the relationship and bring value to her because I've done nothing for her except for close a loan with her now. I'm like, cool. So that's how I met her. Is I have LOs call me and go, hey, got a new agent, come in and do your thing.
Cool.
Because my passion, and this is where your passion should be, and the reason I'm bringing this up is I do nothing but present and build relationships with agents.
I know two other loan officers that do exactly what you're doing right now, Scotty, as far as, and that's why I kind of knew the answer to this, but I wanted to point it out to everybody on the call is that you can set your team up this way as well if this is, but remember, if this is not your passion, if this is not what you're excited, if this isn't your 80, if this isn't your 20%, if it's not what you love to do, it makes you money, and doggone it, you're good at it, then don't make this your, build your business this way. But what Scotty has done is built his business this way because this is his passion. It's because what he likes to do. It's very similar to, and I mentioned, so I'll drop names, Jody Tonga and Michael Mann. Very, very similar in terms of their business model in that they're not the ones that are at the closing table. They're not the ones taking the apps and doing those things. What they do is what they love. They go and impress the agents with the cool things and the presentations and the good and the cool stuff, and their team handles the other part of it, the referrals as they come through. And it's kind of why I wanted Scotty to talk about that a little bit, is that, Jeannine is now, Scotty comes in as the expert. Scotty comes in and can be the expert.
Let me clarify that because I had a kind of an aha moment here when I did this presentation. I'm like, why is it that how does this best work? So here's what I was sitting across the table. The LO Kevin was there with me. He does the introduction. So he says, Scott is part of my team. He does the marketing side of things. And I do the loans, as you already well know, but this is what I bring to the table. I don't like to bring donuts and bagels and stuff like that. I like to bring you something of value to help you grow your business. So what he's going to show you is stuff that's going to help not only you, but your whole team. So, and nobody has that. You know what I'm saying? So that, and Aaron asked a really, really, really good question. He says, how do I get paid? And that's a great question. So, I make a percentage of every loan that branch closes. I make a very small percentage. But if I get up to doing $10 million a month, which we will, I get a percentage of the $10 million. So that is where I come in. That's how I make my money. All right, and of course, the company that I work for pays me a flat fee per month to help them, and then anybody that I help bring on, because I want their success, hopefully as bad as they do, then I get compensated accordingly for the growth.
Well, and
Make sense?
that puts you at a position where people that you bring in, you're kind of accountable for that because you've brought them into
Absolutely.
the fold, and it makes it a lot easier decision for you if they're not producing, because quite frankly, your your paycheck is dependent upon them producing. So it's kind
Correct.
of a symbiotic relationship in that you do what do what you do best to help them produce, and then they produce. They have to take it from there. Once you've generated what you generate, they have to take it from there and close the deals. And it's a
Correct.
symbiotic relationship in that everybody is eating off the same carcass, if you will.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
this way you
Yeah.
get more kills.
Correct. Correct. They get way more. They get way more at bats. Yeah. Glenn
At bats.
Marino
That's a
asked a
better
good
way to
question.
say that. I don't like saying to get more kills. I don't know why
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
don't know
No.
why. I
No.
was
No, man.
thinking
No.
of
I
like
know. It's good.
mentally what I pictured in my mind is like a pride of lions where you've got the male lion, the main lion that's going out and knocking down the kill, and then everybody else comes in, or that walks around and says, okay, there's some meat right there, and then the pack goes out
Yeah.
and kills them.
Yeah. So Glenn Marino asked a good question. He says, at what point in the presentation do you bring up the rest before and the 50 cents per listing? I actually I bring that up in a way that says some way, shape, or form you're going to have to spend money on this, whether it's sign writers, whether it's printing the flyers, whether it's some way, shape, or form. I need to have a folder of some way, shape, or form you spending money on this system. Whether it's me charging you per listing, 50 cents per listing, whether it's you buying a sign writer. If they buy a sign writer, that's going to cover a lot of cost because that's anywhere from $10 to $15. And if they have 5 listings, that's going to be $50. So some ways, like they got to have the paper, they got to have. There's certain things that you have to have as a marketing a home. And if this is the platform that they use in the listing presentation, all that stuff, there's going to be a cost to it. So some way, shape, or form, I cover that with them. If they just want to do a flat out 50 cents per listing fee, so be it. But I let them decide that. So I kind of leave that open. And that works really well. They understand, and they always get to a point where, like, what's the cost of all this? And if they ask that, the big thing is for us to make sure that we're a good fit. I don't just say, I don't just flop over and go, oh, we just want your business. It's like, no, we want to make sure that we're a good fit, that you understand what we're bringing to the table, you feel that there's value there, and you feel that you can use this system, tools and strategies to grow your business and help your other agents, and maybe as a recruiting platform.
And what you're
So,
doing when you say that is you're talking, and the words that you're using is you're forming a long-term
term
relationship as
relationship.
opposed to just a one hit and run kind of deal.
Right.
You're looking for a long-term relationship out of it, and it is about helping them because quite frankly, if they just set up and go and it's 50 cents, let's do it, and then 2 months later they're not getting the leads that they thought they were going to get, well then what happens? You got your one referral out of them, and then that's it. You've burnt that bridge. It's gone.
Correct, correct. So I just want to welcome Glenn. He is one of the Rainmakers, so we're gonna have some fun together, man. We're doing some hardcore power user for this stuff. So what I did next, so I say, hey, here's I kind of set the stage and expectations of at the very first. So I bring her up. It's her picture, one of her listings, and I say, Jeannine, when I go through this presentation, because you're the broker owner, I want you to think about this as a recruiting platform for new agents, okay? So, of course, it'll 100% help you in your business, but I'll also want you to go, okay, how can this benefit my team? Because the stronger your team is, the more money you're going to make, right? So I kind of set that stage. I put that in their head right up front. And then I said, so I went to your website. Here's your website. I said, what do you think about your website? I always ask them, what do you think about your website? Well, it's pretty archaic, she says, and it's really old, and that's one of our 2013 goals is to update our website. And so, I mean, I'm telling you guys, if you ask them, most 99% of the time, they'll tell you what their goals are. They'll tell you what their plans are. They'll tell you what their pains are. And one of her pains is like she's not real happy with her website. I'm like, okay. I said the only thing I really seen that I would change on it, not that there's anything wrong with it, I think it's great, is that there's no way to connect with you on social media. Which brings me to my next question. I see that you're on LinkedIn. Are you a member of Realtor.com? Yes. Do you have a Facebook page? I said, because I could not find you. And she says, well, you couldn't find me for a reason. I have it private. I have my personal as a private. I said, really? I said, what's the reason behind that? She goes, just, I don't know. And I said, but we do, she says, we do have a business page. I said, okay. I said, what is it? So I looked it up on the computer, and I pulled it up, and she showed me, and I liked the page. And then I said, well, maybe someday I could be a close personal friend of yours on your personal Facebook page. And we kind of laughed, you know. And I said, how about Pinterest, and how about YouTube? I said, are you using YouTube, the third largest social media site on planet Earth? She's like, no, we don't use that at all. I said, well, that's good news and bad news. Bad news is, you know, there's a lot of people going there on a daily basis. There's more videos uploaded in 1 hour than I think there's a year's worth of video uploaded in 1 hour that you could watch for the whole year. And I said, but this system going to show you helps you brand yourself on YouTube, all right? And then I go into a couple things. I said, well, you know, I said, if you don't mind me asking, just take a couple minutes here. I said, have you set your goals for 2013? And, you know, I said, and I would go over this with each one of your agents to see if they're a good fit for you know, if we can help them or not. Because a lot of people, some of their goals is that I want to close 1 deal a month, or I want to close 5 deals this year. Well, that tells me that they're not full time and they really don't need to be here. They're just doing it for some fun.
Right.
That's typically not where I'm at. I want to work with somebody that's going to work every day, and even if it's 2-3 hours a day, that's cool. But not, you know, those goals are a little too small for me. Goals for each of your agents. 14 agents, right? She goes, yeah, but we're going to have 2 more, so we're actually going to have 16. I'm like, cool. All right. So do you have a plan in place that, one, you're going to help these 16 agents, 2, is you're going to, you know, increase your production over 2012. You know, so I kind of get to know them, kind of, you know, do you have a marketing plan in place? What is it that you're going to do? I said, as we go through this, you might see some of this as a huge piece of your marketing plan, and just let me know what you like and what you don't like. So, which brings me to my next question. What do you love about the business? You've been in it 10 years, Kevin tells me. Yep, 10 years, and, you know, she tells me what she loves, she tells me what she hates. And then she tells me when I ask her that, I said, what she says, I hired a marketing person from college that's going to help me with my marketing. I'm like, you know, that is the best thing that I could ever hear out of your mouth, is that you hired somebody and you see the importance of marketing. I said, what your assistant needs to do is drive down to my office and spend time with my partner, Vicki, so she can get up to speed on this stuff as fast as possible. So when I come in to meet with your 14 agents, they already have a backup to somebody they can go to besides Vicki. They can go to your assistant, and I, you know, of course, got her assistant's name and stuff. So I kind of set the stage for I can help your assistant, so which I know takes that off of her plate, because she's going, what am I going to have my marketing assistant do? She's a marketing major at college, but if you've ever I'm not cutting these guys down, but they don't teach you real life stuff.
So in 3 slides, of your presentation, you're already taking ownership and telling her that, oh, we have her come down to my office. We'll help her. You know, we'll sit her down with my partner, and she'll show her all this stuff. So you're already taking ownership. And my guess is that in the 3rd slide, when you mentioned that you're more than willing to help her brand new college-educated marketing assistant by training them for her, that she's shaking her head yes at that point? I mean, what was her reaction to that?
Well, she's like, that sounds like an amazing idea. I said, well, it'd be the best thing I could, because I could sit here for hours and hours and hours and try and teach you, and then you're going to have to relay it to your marketing team, you know, your marketing team now. I said, well, we might as well just cut to the chase, have her get up to speed, and I'll teach her how to get up to speed, and then when you have a question, she's sitting right here with you. Of course, you can always reach me, and you can always reach Kevin and get a hold of us, but let's get her up to speed so that she's fluent in what we believe is going to help you grow your business.
And she's biting it hook, line, and sinker already.
No question, no question.
Awesome.
And so then the next slide is, hey, I uploaded all your listings. She goes, yeah, I got all the emails, so that's pretty cool. I said, let's just go to one. So I kind of come right here at the PowerPoint, and I copy one. And I go right to the internet, and I open one up. And I say, let me just cover this really with you really quick. I said, here's where where I'm going to talk about.
Is a picture?
Here's where I'm going to talk about the results in advance. Now, put yourself in the place of a seller. If I was to walk into your house, Jeannine, and introduce myself, and the first thing I pull up is this website and go, hey, Mr. Seller, I just wanted to say, show you what I've created for you already. It's one of the things that I do to separate myself from the competition. This is what I've done for you already. I've created a website of just your home. And obviously, I could only take a picture of the outside because I would get in trouble if I tried to sneak in and take indoor pictures. But and if you decide to go with me, I'll take a bunch before I leave here, and all I got to do is push a button, and this thing is live. Right now, it's not active, so nobody knows that it's out there on the web, on all these real estate sites. But as soon as I push a button, it happens within 2 or 3 days. It's already active, and then the cool part is you can take this link and share it on your Facebook page and all your social media sites. I can show you how to do that, but we can get some really serious exposure right off the bat today. You don't have to wait for me to do anything because it's already done. So let me just go through this with you, and then I can go, talk about photo gallery, virtual tours. Now, and she brought up something that's pretty cool. She says she spends, and get this, $200. I'm going to go back and head on photo gallery. She spends $200 on any listing. It's 150 and above on the virtual tours.
What?
It's $200, man. They go in and do a really nice job. But I said, is it a video? She goes, no, it's still photos, but they do different angles and stuff. And I said, okay. I said, does this look impressive to you? Do you think this would impress the seller of this $500,000 house? She goes, heck yeah, man, this is awesome. So what you're saying is, because see, here's the thing is like, and Glenn asked, where do I bring that up? If she's spending $200 on virtual tours, I should probably be paying her. If that's the case, because she's spending $200 just on virtual tours that we're going to now put in this single property website. Make sense? And then I go over area photo, like area maps, what's nearby, area schools, and then I do property info, payment info, and then I go to here, and if they want to text for information, they can. And it shows all your stuff, and they can figure payments and stuff like that. And here's what else I did for you, Mr. Sellers. I actually created a flyer for you that has your information on it. You can choose which picture shows up here. And here's the cool part. So in this PowerPoint, I'm going through, I go, here's the listing presentation, and then I get to go, here's the big part, Mr. Seller, and as an agent, you need to have something like this in your presentation because everybody's going, man, these guys are really good at getting the sale. They're really good at making me want to go with them. But what they're going to do for me after I decide to go with them? Well, Mr. Seller, what I'm going to do is, being that I've already created this website, I can show you the history report on this thing, and you can see that, I played around and I checked the virtual tour and a couple different things. But once this thing goes live, it's going to keep track of every time somebody hits your website, where they hit at, how many times they've hit. So every single day, you'll be able to see that we're getting some exposure, we're getting more branding, we're getting a ton of different stuff. All right, pretty cool there. So that's part of the presentation that I would recommend. Second is your flyers. We just talked about that. Now and I told her about the little trick of highlighting the actual website. Actually, I got it right here. Where'd it go? Oh, right here. So what I would recommend, instead of doing color flyers, this is just my opinion, we're having some great, I think Brian Heckman's doing it down there, is we highlight the website, we highlight the text code, and we highlight the QR code. Pretty cool there, and it's different. So if they grab 10 flyers in one neighborhood, the only one that's going to be black and white with highlighted is yours.
And so see, what I like about that part that you throw in there, it sounds and seems like a very insignificant part of the presentation that you're doing here, Scott. But what you're doing is you're actually implanting a thought in the mind of this person that you're presenting to. This happens to be Jeannine, who's a broker of about 16 different real estate agents. What you're doing is implanting in the mind is that you're showing this cool system, but by talking about, and what we do with the flyer is instead of doing it in color, I do it in black and white, and I highlight this spot. It stands. You're displaying that you've thought about the marketing aspect and what will get her to stand out, much more than just showing this cool system with all this cool stuff. You're actually taking it a step further and saying, okay, and also in addition to this cool stuff I'm showing, I've thought it through, and here's a little trick I'm using. So you're kind of letting her know in a nonchalant way that, I'm a marketing expert too. Not only do I have this cool thing that I'm showing you, but I've also got this really great marketing mind that's going to help you be able to maximize the cool stuff that I've got.
Correct. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's like, you go back to how do you separate yourself? Because one of her things is how do we separate ourselves from the competition? Well, you got to be different. And being different is making your materials different and making your presentations different and making everything that you do different than if you copy what everybody else does, you're going to look like everybody else, and then you're going to have a harder chance of getting that listing, or working with that buyer or whatever it is. You have to be different.
You don't want to be on the cookie sheet looking like every other cookie out there. I want to be on the cookie sheet with a bulge on off to the side that makes me stand out and look very different.
Yes. Hey, Gail said she's trying to jing the slides. We're actually going to make this thing available to you. So, I mean, if you want to jing them, that's cool. But, I mean, you don't have to. We're going to make sure it's available to you. All right. So, here's what I did. I took a picture of my phone the night before, and I said, here's what somebody sees when they text for information on your property, which is, this is your property, 579. See, it's all of them. 100% of this stuff that I do is all of them, their property, their thing. And then second, what happens is this pops up when they click on this little link right here. This thing pops up and shows it on their phone.
And again, you guys notice what he's doing in the presentation. It's Sand Lake, Michigan, 2300 West Shore Drive. It's all, you know, it may not seem like a big deal to, you know, you're showing these cool things, but the fact that all of these cool things are revolving around Jeannine, you know, she's thinking about everything. She woke up that morning, I promise you, thinking about how is she going to sell 2300 West Shore Drive today. And so you're showing her these things with 2300 West Shore Drive. You're tapping into her need. You know, it really is all about her, and what you're showing with the results in advance. It's all her stuff. There is something that happens in her mind that is just always relating back. What other loan officer has gone in to meet with her and is showing cool stuff with her stuff that's going to help her? Not just a rate sheet and a box of donuts. Yes, the donuts may taste good, especially if somebody's smart enough to bring Krispy Kremes.
Right.
But it's not this. I mean, it's a very different presentation.
Correct. So the next thing I did was, you know, she kind of, she goes, yeah, she goes, I don't care about the QR code. I said, well, the QR code, because here's where you start to write down every objection that an agent gives, because if they say it, that means they're thinking it. If you go to another presentation and go, I wonder if the agent's thinking the same thing, and if you bring that up, you know, most agents that I talk to don't care about the QR code, and she's going, yeah, you know, she may not bring it up going, I don't want to be like an ass, you know, during this guy's presentation, but if you bring it up and you go, you know, most agents don't care about this, but I got to tell you, it's just a shiny whistle, and I hear more agents tell me when they get to this point in their presentation is when the seller goes, I'm ready to go.
Yep.
I mean, so I don't know what it is, but here's what they see on again, 2300 West Shore Drive, right there. View mobile site, view complete site. These are just pictures of my phone. No big deal. You take the picture and you upload them and you jing them and you put them in your presentation. Look whose website this is. Like, you already have a website, but I wanted to share with you that each one of your agents will have their own website in the system, and it'll have their name. It'll have their properties. Here's your properties: 2300, 5981. These are yours, right? Oh, yep. Wow, that's pretty cool. So I built a website for her. That's what she's thinking in her mind, right?
Yep.
Pretty crazy. And then you got homepage properties also, so we can do some fun stuff with this. Here's that. Remember when you talked about YouTube and you're not doing much with YouTube? This is what a YouTube looks like. It actually pushes to YouTube, your YouTube channel. So we'll just set one up for you. You have a Gmail account, right? Yep. Okay, we'll set one up. YouTube. It's just really easy. You just use the same login and password, no different. And now you have a YouTube virtual tour of each and every listing that you ever get inside the system that stays there forever, because once it's in YouTube, it's there to stay. And now you can show your sellers, hey, here's the other ones that I've listed, and here's the other ones that I've sold, and you can pull up your YouTube account and start showing them. Right? More exposure. Here's third-party data. I do it a little different on this one. I do third-party data. It goes to Front Door, Hot Pads, Oodle, Truly, and Vast. And she goes, oh, yeah. She goes, I don't know if you know about GRAR, which is Grand Rapids Association of Realtors. She says, all of our listings go through ListHub. I said, well, that's great, because that's exactly where we pulled this information from. So I said this does the exact same thing, but when they click on it, it takes them back to the eProperty site system. All right, so you got more exposure. You got the talking person. You have flyers, virtual tours, text codes. I said, does your MLS have all that stuff? No. Okay, well, I mean, it has some stuff. It's good. I mean, you're getting it out there, but this thing has more, with more information and more ways to track and more ways to give your seller reasons to stick with you, but not only that, refer their friends, family, and coworkers, because you're doing more. All right?
Doing more.
Doing more. Homeowner email. This is pretty cool, where if you want to give your homeowner access to it, they can log in and see the hits report. They can log in and see, like, they can change photos if they want to.
Print brochures if the tube box ends up empty. Absolutely.
push to Craigslist if they want to, push to Backpage if they want to, push to their Facebook page if they want to. I mean, you can show them how to do all that. It's just a couple clicks and it's done. If it's a couple months down the road, push it again. Make sure it's current on their Facebook page. Good stuff. Here's your YouTube channel. So like it will push to YouTube for you. Kind of blew through that. Here's some other things that we can push to, or your seller can push to as well. Google+, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, so we can start getting some more exposure. Now, and I always bring this up. I go, listen, don't just put out there, I have a new listing. I said, people will hide you quicker than you post it. I said, but what you do want to do is find something unique. And I said, I usually say, I'm not telling you anything. I said, I'm just sharing what other top agents have told me, because I work with a ton of them across the U.S., which is the truth. And you can say, I got a buddy that works with a bunch of top agents across the U.S., and you can say, what they've said is, find something unique about the home. Like maybe it has an elevator, so you don't have to walk up and down the stairs,
or its own ski lift,
or own ski lift, or whatever it is. Find something unique, like a beautiful fireplace, and post that with the link to your listing. Say, what a gorgeous, unbelievable 12-foot stone fireplace. Boom, and then they click on it, and then the first picture they see is the fireplace, but it's in the listing present. It's in your single property website. So I kind of explain the mindset on that to them. Here's if you want to send this out for your sellers to go, hey, somebody's showing the house. I just wonder if I get some feedback. And she said she had a feedback form, which is cool. So, and then this is a big one. It's like, and here's where I hit her database pretty hard. I said, what are you doing for people that you already know, like, and trust you on a monthly basis? Or what are you doing for people that you close with? What are you doing for them? She's like, well, our database is terrible. We don't have any database management at all. And that's one of the things that I brought my marketing person in for, is to help with my database, and which was great that she admitted it. Mm-hmm. And that is 99.9% of the people that I talk to, they don't have any follow-up in place whatsoever. So this is a huge one for buyers. So what this is, Jeannine, is every time you close on a new home, you give them, like on the final walkthrough, you snap a ton of pictures, and then my team will upload this for you and create a We've Moved website that you can give to them, and you can just tell them at closing, hey, we'll keep this up for a year, so feel free to share it with your friends, family, coworkers, to let them know where you're living now, and there's pictures in here, because I took a bunch of pictures on the final walkthrough for you. Just a special little gift for you. Boom. So that's something. She really liked that. And then I go, when I get to this point in my presentation, and I haven't showed you even close to what the system can do. There's so much more. Like if you wanted to upload, and I kind of, what I did was I end the show and I go, all right, here's some of the other stuff that we can do inside your system. So I open up the Tools tab and I go, we can do co-listing with another agent. We can do banners. We can do voiceovers with other people coming on the thing. We can upload floor plans. We can do custom website menus, so we can put a link to way before closures. We can change the text code. We can do flat. So then I throw a bunch of stuff at it really quick, and then I go, listen, this is what's going to happen with most of your agents. They're going to get to a point where they are overwhelmed. They may have too much on their plate already. They may have a fear of failure, the fear of the unknown. They may have a fear of technology. They're not techy enough. Lack of income. Maybe they think it's going to cost them a bunch of money to be successful. Well, that's where I help remove some of that fear, and I get with each one of your agents and go, what are your goals? What are your plan in place? How are you going to make money in 2013 as an agent? Maybe you have a lack of listings or lack of buyers. If they have a lack of listings, let's go borrow some. Let somebody else market your listings for you. Maybe being that their name is on it, they're going to get a call because they don't like you, but they like him. Who cares, right? We all win. No assistant. Do I need one? You already know the importance of that and feel the relief of having somebody do some of your marketing for you. What an assistant can or should do. No follow-up in place. Lack of clarity. I mean, there's a million different things that would cause people to be overwhelmed. So we're going to address those with each one of your agents. And then we're going to help them set a goal in place and find out what they want to make, and marketing budget assistant adjust every 90 days and a plan in place. And then we're going to address some of the fears they have. We're going to literally make them tell us, what are they scared of? Are they scared of presenting using an iPad? Is that a fear of theirs? Well, then don't do it. Use a computer or a laptop or whatever. Are they, are they really truly in sales, or they just think they want to be? Are they have a fear of presenting, period? They have a fear of talking to people. Why do they have a fear of talking to people? I mean, there's just a million different things that we talk about. So I brought this up to her. So I said, what I would recommend is overcoming objections. Here's 40 objections that I found that you as an agent should have an immediate response to that has a good close ratio. Like, I sell when the value goes up. How much advertising will you do? You look like you are too busy, which could be a huge one. They may not be thinking it, and they may not even say it, but if you don't address it, they're going to not go with you thinking that you're just too big because you're bringing so much to the table. I mean, that's a huge concern, wouldn't you say, Paul?
Yeah, absolutely.
Find a home before they put it for sale. I mean, that's a huge, so there's 40 objections that I think that if we work with your agents and they need to, here's the thing, Jeannine, they need to want their success as bad as you want it for them, and we find out who does and who doesn't, and we work with the ones that who do, right?
That's absolutely.
So,
no, who do? I like the words you use there. It made sense to me.
I just made out. It just worked out really well. So, and then we find out, like, we're only going to cover the basics with your agents, like logging into the system, adding the property so they can add it on their own. But of course, we have a team in place to do it for them if you give us enough notice. Listing presentation. Let's work with them on this new listing presentation so that when they go into this listing presentation, it's all set up, ready to go, and there's like 99.9% chance they're going to get it because they've done the results in advance listing presentation. How to set up a PowerPoint presentation so if they don't have power or if they lose power. It happened to me 2 days ago. Animoto for interaction and engagement. Activating a personal website and when to do it, how to do it, little basic stuff like that so they don't have to wait for us. Buyer's presentation. Why they should do a buyer's presentation. Maybe they just assume that the buyer is going to go with them when they don't even explain how the whole buyer's agency works. I don't know how many times I get a referral from a realtor partner and all of a sudden this buyer is working with another agent. I'm like, what happened here, right? And it looks like I steered them to another agent, which is not even close to the case. It's just they didn't tell them, hey, I get paid if you work with me and we buy a home, that type of thing. So how to do the broadcast my move. When we get a little more into it, maybe talk about blogging, virtual assistant or in-house assistant, why you should push to Craigslist, what the importance of the sign writers. And, these are just the basics of that an agent should know. And then if they want to go advanced, we can go from there. But if you have to have a solid foundation of the basics of this eProperty site system, all right? And it's going to be different for everybody. And then presenting, pre-listing. Now, here's where my partner comes in, Vicki. After we do this event, because she asked me, she goes, when can you come back and do this for everybody in my office? I'm like, well, let's just schedule it right now. So I'm going back January 7th, and I'm gonna talk about the pre-listing, listing, and after close, which is the listing presentation, buyer presentation. We're going to talk about where you can find some more seller leads, FSBO builders, and blogging. Listing presentation, the QR code, text code, website, unlimited photos, spokesperson, and all that stuff. And then after close, the broadcast my move. So we're gonna cover pretty much the same presentation as I did for her on the 7th, but for each one of their agents. And I'll just set the stage for, hey, Jeannine believes in your success. She wants your success. You have to want it just as bad as she does and we do for you. So we'll work with you to help you, but if we feel that, maybe you're just not committed to this business, then it probably is not going to be a good fit. And we'll throw that right out there. I don't have a problem with saying that because we want people that are serious. Buyers and sellers, where to find them? Are you even connecting with your sphere of influence? Are you working with the people that know your friends, family, and coworkers, the people that you work right next to? Do they know, or your friends, does your friends know that you're a realtor? They need to know that. It's not embarrassing. That's what you do for a living, right? Groups, fellowship places, social media, farming, current listings, broker current listings. So if you don't have any listings, go find some. Craigslist. There's a bunch of FSBOs on there. Go give them a call, and we'll give you, we'll help you with the scripts on what to say. Expired listings. This is a great one. We talk about the reticular activator. Like when people are in the buying mode or selling mode, they're going to see every single for sale sign out there because they're thinking about it consciously, but they're also hearing about it with all the conversations that are going on. You would be amazed if you're thinking about buying a home and you're in Starbucks and someone else talks about buying a home.
You hear it.
You hear it like it's almost like it's an interruption because your mind is just on it like white on rice. So you hear about it. So think about that. And being that we're in the mortgage business, I always hear about somebody talking about a refinance, about buying a home, about selling a home. I always hear those conversations because it's always at the front of my mind. and then we'll help you with the database management, of course, which, for you sounds like it should be number one, so we'll work on that as well. Whoops, sorry about that. Let's see what I do here. Slideshow from, let's go back to, dang, what am I doing here, Paul?
You got a Mac, man. I have no idea what you're doing.
Dude, I'm just losing it. All right, so buy yourselves. Okay, follow-up's the last one, so I'm just going to go from the, whoops, that's not right. Sorry, guys. So so the very last slide, I got a Mac. All right, so follow-up. Here's some of the things we'll work with you on follow-up: is what to use, how to use it, when to communicate with your buyers, when to communicate with your sellers, why you should friend them as soon as you connect with them in some way. If you talk to them on the phone, hey, say, hey, are you on Facebook? What's the best way that you like to communicate? That needs to be like the first thing out of your mouth. Like, hey, do you like text? Do you like Facebook? Where are you at? What's the best way? If I was to send you a message in 30 minutes saying I found the ideal home that you're looking for with exactly the right specs and the right size bedrooms, what would be the best way for me to communicate with you? That's they're gonna respect that, right? Setting the expectations. How do I mean, if you say, if you never ask that question and you give them a call and they never have their phone with them, I mean, you could lose them knowing that they're never there. Like, God, man, she's not calling me back. What's wrong with her? I can't believe that. She said she's like ready to buy a home when you send her a Facebook message and she responds in like 2 seconds, right? So you have to ask that question. We talk about social media, like, connect, follow, and subscribe, interaction, engagement there. Systems you're using or can use, follow-up, value of follow-up, fear of failure, maybe fear of rejection, and then how to maybe set a Google Docs type thing with every client you have in the system that's hot right now, so everybody in your team can share it in maybe some way, shape, or form, communicate in a way that's connecting with these people.
Guys, what Scott just showed you, all of these different things, go back to the buyers and sellers slide for me, Scotty.
Okay.
He mentioned, buyers and sellers will help you grow your sphere of influence. I'm going to help you, put together perfect open houses. We'll get you set up with different groups to help you. Guys, all of these things are materials that you have all ready to go, ready to roll. Right now, you've got a full, complete FSBO strategy ready to go. You've got a full and complete script for the perfect open house. You have full and complete scripts for, how to help people understand how to use social media. All of these different things that Scotty's talking about, I'm going to help you with this and help you with, it's all done for you. All this stuff is already there. It's already done for you. It's in the loofah folder. It's all right there. You just have to go and get it and put it into a usable form that makes sense for you and what you're doing. So absolutely. The materials, the things that Scott is showing, this is not outside the box of reality or the realm of what you can do. This is all stuff it's done for you already. You can do exactly the same thing. You can make the exact same presentation.
Great.
You just have to make sure that you do it the right way. Get your follow-up and your procedures and your pieces done first, and then set up your presentation and invite somebody to see your presentation. Do it the right way. Set up your follow-up plan. Get your scripts and documents together, because you know what? When you talk about overcoming the top 40 objections, guess what the first thing the person you're presenting is going to ask you? Ooh, do you have the answer for those? Yes, is the short answer. It's in your loofah folder. It's in your loofah folder, guys. It's all right there for you.
Yes. Here's the whoops, that's not it. Here's the let me just show you the email I sent to her yesterday. So I waited a day, sent her an email. Right there it is. So let me just show you. So so the joke was like, hey, maybe, I said, maybe someday you will friend me on your personal private Facebook page. And we kind of laughed. So I said, happy holidays, my new Facebook friend. And then I said, hey, Jeannine, so great meeting you and getting to know you yesterday. Very excited about January 7th, and know it will bring a ton of value to your group. I look forward to having one of the best years ever with you, your team, and your agents in 2013. As a friendly reminder, I'm available, so like whatever, call, text, whatever. I monitor all of them. So like I give her all different ways to connect with me and let her know. I mean, of course, I have people that monitor all of these for me, so it's like it's not me, but it's coming from me because she's the one I met. And I blind carbon copied the yellow on it, so he got the same message.
Genius.
All right, and then this morning I saved some of this. I saved some of this stuff so that I can connect with her again. So I sent her an email this morning. I said, hey, Jeannine, what is your cell number and service provider? Merry Christmas. Which what I'm trying to do here is I go, all right, I didn't show her everything, but now I'm going to start piecing together the puzzle for her, and she doesn't even know what I'm doing. But you'll notice that if I go to notifications, I know what her mobile number is, but it gives me a reason to connect with her.
Yep.
So leave some stuff off the table and go, and she's like, man, this guy's working every freaking day to help me. I wonder what he wants my cell phone number and provider for. And then the next time I'll meet with her, I go, hey, remember when I asked you for that? And once she emails me back and gives it to me, I'm gonna connect the dots here, and then I'm gonna text her information on that phone so she sees it for herself on her phone, and she's like, God, man, that Scott, who the heck is this guy anyway?
And then gets the notifications. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's the type of stuff that don't give everything out there. Because here's the thing. Here's the big thing that I hope you got this message. When you're showing an agent all this stuff, most of the time, if it's a new agent, they have no idea. I had never met this girl ever, so she had no idea who I was. So I know deep down that, one, she has fear of who is this guy. One is, is he for real? Is it just a joke? How much is this stuff? It sounds too good to be true, right? If you do it good enough, that's what's going through their head. And then you connect with them, go, I know that everybody is going to have fear of failure. People don't like me. I'm not a good presenter. I don't have a follow-up in place. I don't have assistant so I can only do so much. I have a lack of buyers and sellers. I hear that all the time. And they're like, fear of the competition, big one, right? So the fear of the competition, why are you scared of the competition? What? Because you don't have anything of value to give, or it's different or above and beyond what your competition's doing? That's a big deal. So that's all I got for you, brother.
Awesome. Scotty, is there a way you'd put this presentation? Do you mind putting this PowerPoint in the Lufa folder?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I'll do that. It might already be there, but I will make sure it's there. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I think it's in the Rainmaker folder already. If we could get it in the Lufa folder for everyone, that'd be awesome. Okay. Any questions? Can we get the PowerPoint? Yes, we just answered that. Tom is a very new LO Unfair Animal. Welcome, Tom. We appreciate you and excited to be working with you, and I think this is going to be a great thing for you. All of our Friday strategy classes, including the Agent Friday strategy classes, are always recorded. We always put them on lounfairadvantage.com. There is a tab up at the top about the middle that says training/help, and when you go into the training/help, you'll see a little a link that says class archive. So all of our previous recordings, training and help, and then you can go to weekly training classes there. They're all right there. So you can scroll down. If you look, we've got classes as much as 2 years old. Some of them you'll see a repeat of, like our FSBO strategy. We try and go through the FSBO strategy about once every 6 months or so because it's always changing. There's always something to add to it or take. Yeah, well over 2 years in there. Wow. There's some Facebook stuff in there. The strategy remains the same on Facebook. It's just the button where you click it sometimes is a little bit different than what you see on that on the class there. But that's a great resource for you, Tom. The other resource is where Scott is at now. It's called we call it the Lufa folder. And to access it, you want to go to, and this is one you want to write down, it's budurl.com. That's bud, budurl.com /Lufa, L-O-U-F-A folder. So budurl.com /Lufa folder. Now that page is password protected. It is members only. The password to get in there is Lufa 2011. And Gail, there's your password right there, Lufa 2011. When you go to LO Unfair, excuse me, Tom, I'm sorry, LO Unfair is also password protected to get into the training and help tab, and that password is unfair. And I think that covers all of our housekeeping right there, doesn't it?
I think so, man. I think so. Here's something a little I want to share with you guys. This is kind of crazy that I'm working on today, and I just I just kind of mind map this small section out right here. So check this out. So if you, as a LO, this is like if you have an assistant, this is where it's going to allow you to get this, Paul. So if you're meeting with clients, get this. So you're in the office, right? And you close in 10 deals a month. That's 10 hours, right?
At least.
And you're out of the office, drive time, depending on how far it is, say 2 hours. That's 20 hours. So depending on how many deals you're closing, if you're closing 5, it's 5 hours, whatever. But think about if you had someone to help you with that 5 hours, what that 5 hours could be spent like, or 5 more hours with your family, or 5. I mean, I'm kind of mind mapping this out, going, man, what if you take 50 applications a month? We take 20 to 30 a week. So either by cell phone, office phone, or application. So 50 a month times 30, that's 25 hours. Isn't that crazy? So if you had somebody helping you with these two things, think that's 30, 35 hours a month. You could work 3 weeks a month if you had an assistant helping you with this and accomplish the same, if not more, because you're focused on calling agents and meeting with them and growing those relationships.
And somebody else can do the stuff that takes a long time. I love that. That's
Isn't that crazy?
When you put it into paper like that, it makes a whole lot of sense, because think about how many hours you're doing that. And we all talk about, oh, I'm working 60 hours a week, I'm working 70 hours a week. Man, take that 25 hours a week of application time and put it away. Now you're working, if you were 60, now you're working 35 hours a week.
It's insane, man.
Now, for that extra time, I can go to the movies with my son. I can have breakfast with my daughter. I can, whatever it is, I can do those things, and the things that make me happiest, as opposed to the things that I don't like to do.
Right. Cool, man. Just wanted to share that with you. So, just a thought for the holidays, man. Just something to think about for 2013. Where's your time being spent, man? This is crazy.
Spend it in the field, guys. I will tell you this. The people who are most successful in their real estate businesses are the people who are out and about and meeting agents on a face-to-face and a personal level on a regular basis. Not once in a while, but on a very regular basis.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Scotty, Merry Christmas, brother.
Merry Christmas, man. I can't wait to see you, dude. January 11th, I'll be there for the week for like 4 days.
You know that's my birthday, right? I'm leaving on. I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be heading out of town January 11th.
No, you're not.
I swear, I really.
When you
Sandra's.
come back?
Well, I don't know. Probably just do a 3-day weekend. We'll be back. I'll be back by Monday. You guys will still be here brain crunching on Monday, won't you?
Yeah. I'll be here. I'll be there Monday.
Cool.
Sweet, brother. Well, happy birthday, man.
Well, thank you. Well, we got to celebrate Jesus' birthday first.
I know. All right.
Happy birthday, little baby Jesus, and Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year to those of you we don't see next week. For those wondering, I will be here on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week. We are planning on an Agent's Unfair Advantage Friday on the 28th. So
I wonder if we should do another LO or do an Agents one that week.
I think we do an agents one. We do a results in advance agents one. Are you prepared for 2013? Here's your new role of how you're going to do it, and show that.
Words of advice, though. Words of advice: don't send out the invite till Wednesday. If you send it out Monday, nobody's going to see it.
Yeah, well, I'm not even sending it to our members do we want to skip the 28th then and go back at it on the first Friday of January?
We could. Well, I'm not going to be here that Friday, Paul.
Okay.
I'm going to be out of the country, but we could. Shoot. Let's do it. Let's do it next Wednesday. I think it's good.
Okay.
We'll do results in advance. Well, I think we should do the presentation. I think we should do the same thing for them. Is show the results in advance, both just how to set stuff up and the mindset behind it.
You got it.
Okay.
Perfect. And Aaron, there's always a Q&A. The Animal Time class is designed to be a Q&A, so questions are always welcome there. Monday is usually the day that we do open Q&A day. There's no topic being raised, no presentation, so Monday is usually the day the best day for that. Unfortunately, this Monday I will be in Orlando opening and watching my children open Christmas presents, so it'll have to be the Monday after.
All right. Sounds good. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, and we'll see you next Friday.
See ya, Scotty. We'll see you in a little bit. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Bye-bye.